Governors of Bauchi and Kano States and the Arewa Consultative Forum have demanded the release of the minors facing trial for treason in the Abuja Federal High Court. Already, Kano Governor Abba Yusuf has directed the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice to take steps towards securing the release of the minors arrested for allegedly demanding regime change while participating in the EndBadGovernance Protest in Kano and Kaduna between August 1 to 10. The State Commissioner of Information and Internal Affairs, Baba Halilu Dantiye, confirmed the developments to ATN on Sunday. Arewa Consultative Forum has strongly condemned the ongoing treason trial of protesters from August 2024 EndBadGovernance Protest, labeling it as a sham trial and a show of shame. According to the ACF, the trial is a blatant attempt to intimidate and silence citizens from exercising their constitutional rights to protest and express grievances, adding that the forum views the protesters as victims of Nigeria's criminal justice system and a mindless bureaucracy. Consequently, the Arewa Consultative Forum has called on the federal government to immediately halt the detention and trial, release the protesters, and return them to their families unharmed, and also demanded an investigation into the circumstances leading to the prolonged detention of the protesters, who have been held for over 3 months, well beyond the constitutional 24-hour limit. The forum also demanded that the federal government provide financial compensation to the protesters for their unnecessary and unjustified detention, as well as medical examination, treatment, and professional psychological evaluation and counseling. What do you have to say to this story, Chief Jackson?
I sympathize with the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay.
I am in doubt if there are some person in his government are not trying to blackmail his government, sabotage his government, giving his government bad name by doing this. The law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because of our fundamental human right, even the adults, you are not supposed to be detained no matter the level of offense you committed. You are not supposed to be detained by police for more than 24 hours before you should be taken to the court of law. But these people have been there for over 90 days. Children, they may not come out of this. If they release them to their parents tomorrow, most of them will not be normal again, because their brain has been traumatized. And some of them may come out to become a pathological criminal. We are building, where so many other countries in the world are building the future, building the children, believing that they are building the future for their countries. We are building the children. We are building them for criminality in the future. If these people were detained, underage children were detained for over 90 days, and you are bringing them to court, and a judge said 10 million naira. Some of these children, the local government where they come from cannot afford 10 million naira. Where will the parents of these street urchins, let me call them like that, get 10 million from? Tell some of their parents to go and bring 10,000 for bail. They cannot afford 10,000 naira for bail. If you are pronouncing 10 million naira to bail these people, that is to say you are just kind of deceiving yourself as a judge. Why wouldn't you just say you have sentenced them to death? Because if some of them will rot in there for the next 1,000 years, nobody will be able to bring them out paying 10 million naira. And the whole world has seen now that there is no child right law in this country, that there is no future for the children of this country, if the children of this country, among them, is there any child of a counselor? No. These children's future have been damaged. To me, they say kidnappers or terrorists kidnap some people from what the name of this school that time?
Chibok.
Chibok is like the federal government kidnapped these people too. So I expect it is not the issue, whereas the northern leaders alone should cry out for their freedom.
What the question is, why wait for so long? These children have been detained for months, since August. Why wait for so long? That brings to question, why do leaders, it appears that they tend to build on controversy to further their own interest or look good, because it took public outcry for these northern governors to start talking. It took public outcry for Arewa Consultative Forum to start talking. It took public outcry for SERAP to come out to condemn the actions of the federal government. It took public outcry for these stakeholders to start talking, but these children have been detained for months.
It is the life and style of our leaders in this country. Honestly,
so wouldn't one say that this action, this statement by ACF and the northern governors, it's pretentious at best?
I may not say it is pretentious, because you don't know. Do we have the data of the numbers of children that were arrested that time? Does the police make the data public? Because if the police wanted to do the right thing, immediately they got these people arrested, it wouldn't have been a bad act if they took their name and they published their picture and some parents of these children may not even know that they have been arrested. Because these are children that nobody cares for them. The parents do not have capacity to care for them, and the government too, that has the capacity, just because they are not the children of the rich or the children of very notable politicians. And when you are talking of leaders, how many of these our leaders are really true leaders? Most 95% of our leaders are pseudo leaders. We are reactive. It is when something happens that we begin to react. We don't work to avoid that thing from happening. But whichever way anybody want to view it, is a national disgrace. It's a national disgrace.
Another perspective to this conversation would be, now these are protesters that were arrested during EndBadGovernance in Nigeria protests. The EndBadGovernance in Nigeria protests have organizers, people who came out to take responsibility, and they said, I mean, this is it. The demands of the EndBadGovernance in Nigeria protest was published, was flagged on the handle of some of the organizers, particularly one prominent one. If they are detaining these protesters on account of treason, why are the organizers of the protest walking free? Because they are notable, because they have influence? Because make it make sense to me, like Ojo.
Good. I will not say the organizers of the protest.
Okay.
Because why didn't we have such thing in the southwest, in the southeast, in the south-south?
Probably because in the north,
in the north central.
You recall that in the north, they were, some of these protesters were flagging, they were waving another country's flag on Nigerian.
I am still coming. The reason is that in the south, the children were in the school. Let me say in the south, the children were in school. In some part of north central, the children were in school. You have said something. the illegal organizers, not of that protest, but of these children. These are the children that when they wake up in the morning, they carry their plate. They stay along the road and begin to say, Alakaye, Alakaye. Then people will be throwing money, rotten food will be given to them. These children, look at them. At the age of 15, 16, some of them has not entered the four walls of a classroom before. These are the children that, to be truthful, these are the children that if you put the flag of Russia, the flag of Poland, US, UK, Germany, China, Saudi Arabia and other, Egypt, if you put the flag and Nigeria flag there, tell them to go and pick Nigeria flag. They won't recognize Nigeria flag. So these are the children that they don't know what they are doing. Somebody must have just given them maybe 500 naira and say, take. They don't give them the flag. Those children do not know the meaning of flag. You understand? Then, in a normal crime, when you arrest those children, you go and comfort them, take them to rehabilitation centers. You begin to work on them. Eventually, you might trace those people that has handed over the flag to them. Number one thing, do they have financial capability to show the flag? No. Somebody must have produced that flag and handed it over to them. Why not through intelligence track down those people that must have been giving them the flags? Because there are some persons somewhere.
Some people were actually arrested. Some tailors were arrested during.
When those tailors were arrested, to me, those tailors, somebody must have contracted them to say, show this flag in large quantity. You understand? Why not? Maybe those people's toes are too big. The government could not step on their toes.
All right.
But for you to say, and look at the offense, treasonable offense.
Treason.
You understand? Treasonable offense. That means the action is capable of bringing down the government of the day.
Now the question will be, if found guilty.
If found guilty.
The penalty is what exactly?
Death.
Death. No,
yes.
Very well.
Then you understand? So I see ant in my house. And I say, this ant in my house want to steal my air conditioners. You understand? No, now. How do you so demean this country by saying 15, 12 years old illiterate local chaps that their action is capable of? You should know that these are street urchins, and what is the right of the government? Arrest all these people, take them to rehabilitation center. Some of them in the nearest future will become councillor. Some of them in the future will come and rule this country.
All right.
That's supposed to be the duty. Not for you to say at the end of the day, and a judge pronounced 10 million naira that is not affordable. Then now adjourn the case till January 2025. By that time, these children would have been spending over 130 days in detention. Some of them, they are malnourished. Health, mental, have been affected. Some of them will die before that time. Will their parents forgive this country? With their relations forgive this country in the future? No. We are futuristically aggravating the situation. The government is trying Some of them, even if you release them now to their parents, they will turn hardened criminals.
All right, Jackson.
So I think I'm appreciating the government of the day for one thing. Prince Lateef Fagbemi, the Minister for Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, has ordered the police that the case file should be submitted into his office. And I believe with that one, he might expedite action.
All right.
That possibly in the next 5 or 6 days, they may release the children.
Okay.
But if they continue to keep the children there, honestly, all our bilateral relationship, symbiotic relationship we are having with the US, the UK, in the Middle East, these people may cut it off because they don't joke with their children like this.